Hello, you. It is I, ultra marine. Tonight I'm going to be reading some poems from this book of poetry by Leonard Cohen. It's called Book of Longing. Okay. So this is the eponymous, is that how you say it, poem? It's called The Book of Longing. And, oh, there's Mac. Jump up. Go on, jump up. Hold on, let me get the door. Alright, I swear, it's like he has a radar and he knows when I'm filming and he just wants to be involved. Okay, so yes, I think I was showing there's an illustration of a lady. I can't make the hills, the system is shot. I'm living on pills, for which I thank God. I followed the course, from chaos to art, desire the horse, depression the cart. I sailed like a swan, I sank like a rock, but time is long gone, past my laughing stock. My page was too white, my ink was too thin, the day wouldn't write what the night penciled in. My animal howls, my angel's upset, but I'm not allowed a trace of regret. For someone will use what I couldn't be, my heart will be hers, impersonally. She'll step on the path, she'll see what I mean, my will cut in half, and freedom between. For less than a second, our lives will collide, the endless suspended, the door open wide. Then she will be born to someone like you. What no one has done, she'll continue to do. I know she is coming. I know she will look. And that is the longing. And this is the book. This next one is called Better. Better than darkness is fake darkness, which swindles you into necking with someone's antique cousin. Better than banks are false banks, where you change all your rough money into legal tender. Better than coffee is blue coffee, which you drink in your last bath, or sometimes waiting for your shoes to be dismantled. Better than poetry is my poetry, which refers to everything that is beautiful and dignified, but is neither of these itself. Better than wild is secretly wild, as when I am in the darkness of a parking space with a new snake. Better than art is repulsive art, which demonstrates better than scripture the tiny measure of your improvement. Better than darkness is darkless, which is inkier, vaster, more profound, and eerily refrigerated, filled with caves and blinding tunnels in which appear beckoning dead relatives and other religious paraphernalia. Better than love is love, which is more refined, superbly erotic, tiny, serene people with huge genitalia, but lighter than thought, comfortably installed on an eyelash of mist and living grimly ever after, cooking, gardening, and raising kids. This one is called This Is It. This is it. I'm not coming after you. I'm going to lie down for half an hour. This is it. I'm not going down on your memory. I'm not rubbing my face in it anymore. I'm going to yawn. I'm going to stretch. I'm going to put a knitting needle up my nose and poke out my brain. I don't want to love you for the rest of my life. I want your skin to fall off my skin. I want my clamp to release your clamp. I don't want to live with this tongue hanging out and another filthy song in the place of my baseball bat. This is it. I'm going to sleep now, darling. Don't try to stop me. I'm going to sleep. I'll have a smooth face and I'm going to drool. I'll be asleep whether you love me or not. This is it. The new world order of wrinkles and bad breath It's not going to be like it was before, eating you with my eyes closed, hoping you won't get up and go away. It's going to be something else, something worse, something sillier, something like this, only shorter. This one has some illustrations and some Hebrew, which I cannot read. And it says here, just to have been one of them, even on the lowest rung. And some more illustrations here. This one is called My Consort. There is this huge woman. Oh God, she's beautiful. This huge woman who, even though she's all women, has a very specific character. This huge woman who sometimes comes to me very early in the morning and plucks me out of my skin. We roll around heaven, several miles above the pine trees, and there's no space between us. But we're not one or anything like that. We're two huge people, two immense bodies of tenderness and delight, with all the pleasures felt and magnified to match our size. Whenever this happens, I am usually ready to forgive everyone who doesn't love me enough, including you, Sahara, especially you. This one is called Disturbed This Morning. Ah, that's what I was so disturbed about this morning. My desire has come back, and I want you again. I was doing so fine. I was above it all. The boys and girls were beautiful, and I was an old man, loving everyone. And now I want you again. I want your absolute attention. Your underwear rolled down in a hurry, still hanging on one foot, and nothing on my mind but to be inside, the only place that has no inside and no outside. This one is called You Are Right, Sahara. You are right, Sahara. There are no mists or veils or distances, but the mist is surrounded by a mist, and the veil is hidden behind a veil, and the distance continually draws away from the distance. That is why there are no mists or veils or distances. That is why it is called the great distance of mist and veils. It is here that the traveler becomes the wanderer, and the wanderer becomes the one who is lost, and the one who is lost becomes the seeker, and the seeker becomes the passionate lover, and the passionate lover becomes the beggar, and the beggar becomes the wretch, and the wretch becomes the one who must be sacrificed, and the one who must be sacrificed becomes the resurrected one, and the resurrected one becomes the one who has transcended the great distance of mist and veils. Then for 1,000 years, or the rest of the afternoon, such a one spins in the blazing fire of changes, embodying all the transformations, one after the other, and then beginning again, and then ending again, 86,000 times a second. Then such a one, if he is a man, is ready to love the woman, Sahara, and such a one, if she is a woman, is ready to love the man who can put into song the great distance of mist and veils. Is it you who is waiting, Sahara, or is it me? This one is called The Moon. And there's some more illustrations. I really like this one. But back to the moon. The moon is outside. I saw the great uncomplicated thing when I went to take a leak just now. I should have looked at it longer. I am a poor lover of the moon. I see it all at once, and that's it for me and the moon. This is called By the River's Dark. By the river's dark I wandered on. I lived my life in Babylon. And I did forget my holy song, and I had no strength in Babylon. By the river's dark, where I could not see who was waiting there, who was hunting me, and he cut my lip, and he cut my heart, so I could not drink from the river dark. And he covered me, and I saw within my lawless heart and my wedding ring. I did not know, and I could not see who was waiting there, who was hunting me. By the river's dark, I panicked on. I belonged at last to Babylon. Then he struck my heart with a deadly force, and he said, "This heart, it is not yours." And he gave the wind my wedding ring, and he circled me with everything. By the river's dark, in a wounded dawn, I live my life in Babylon. Though I take my song from a withered limb, both song and tree, they sing for him. Be the truth unsaid and the blessing gone, if I forget my Babylon. I did not know, and I could not see who was waiting there, who was hunting me. By the river's dark, where it all goes on, by the river's dark in Babylon. The next one is called You Have Loved Enough. I said I'd be your lover. You laughed at what I said. I lost my job forever. I was counted with the dead. I swept the marble chambers, but you sent me down below. You kept me from believing until you let me know that I am not the one who loves. It's love that seizes me. When hatred with his package comes, so you forbid delivery. And when the hunger for your touch rises from the hunger, you whisper, "You have loved enough. Now let me be the lover." I don't know if you can really see that so well, but this one is called Thousand Kisses Deep. And some of these are dedicated to people. So here it says, for Sandy, 1945, 1998. You came to me this morning and you handled me like meat. You'd have to be a man to know how good that feels, how sweet. My mirror twin, my next of kin, I'd know you in my sleep. And who but you would take me in 1,000 kisses deep? I loved you when you opened like a lily to the heat. I'm just another snowman standing in the rain and sleet, who loved you with his frozen love, his second-hand physique, with all he is and all he was, 1,000 kisses deep. I know you had to lie to me, I know you had to cheat, to pose all hot and high behind the veils of sheer deceit. A perfect porn aristocrat, so elegant and cheap. I'm old, but I'm still into that, 1,000 kisses deep. And I'm still working with the wine, still dancing cheek to cheek. The band is playing Auld Lang Syne, the heart will not retreat. I ran with Diz and Dante, I never had their sweep, but once or twice they let me play, 1,000 kisses deep. The autumn slipped across your skin, got something in my eye, a light that doesn't need to live and doesn't need to die. A riddle in the book of love, obscure and obsolete, till witnessed here in time and blood, 1,000 kisses deep. I'm good at love, I'm good at hate, it's in between I freeze, been working out, but it's too late, it's been too late for years. But you look fine, you really do, the pride of Boogie Street. Somebody must have died for you, 1,000 kisses deep. I loved you when you opened like a lily to the heat. I'm just another snowman standing in the rain and sleet. But you don't need to hear me now, and every word I speak, it counts against me anyhow, 1,000 kisses deep. The ponies run, the girls are young, the odds are there to beat. You win a while and then it's done, your little winning streak, and summoned now to deal with your invincible defeat. You live your life as if it's real, 1,000 kisses deep. I'm turning tricks, I'm getting fixed, I'm back on Boogie Street. You lose your grip and then you slip into the masterpiece. And maybe I had miles to drive and promises to keep. You ditch it all to stay alive, 1,000 kisses deep. Confined to sex, we pressed against the limits of the sea. I saw there were no oceans left for scavengers like me. I made it to the forward deck, I blessed our remnant fleet, and then consented to be wrecked, 1,000 kisses deep. I'm turning tricks, I'm getting fixed, I'm back on Boogie Street. I guess they won't exchange the gifts that you were meant to keep. And sometimes when the night is slow, the wretched and the meek, we gather up our hearts and go, 1,000 kisses deep. And fragrant is the thought of you, the file on you complete. except what we forgot to do 1,000 kisses deep. Okay, the next one is Alexandra Leaving. And it says under that, after the God abandons Anthony by C. Cavafy? Cavafy? I'm not sure who that is. Suddenly the night has grown colder, some deity preparing to depart. Alexandra hoisted on his shoulder, they slip between the centuries of your heart. Upheld by the simplicities of pleasure, they gain the light, they formlessly entwine, and radiant beyond your widest measure, they fall among the voices and the wine. It's not a trick, your senses all deceiving, a fitful dream, the morning will exhaust. Say goodbye to Alexandra leaving, then say goodbye to Alexandra lost. Even though she sleeps upon your satin, even though she wakes you with a kiss, do not say the moment was imagined, do not stoop to strategies like this. As someone long prepared for this to happen, go firmly to the window, drink it in. Exquisite music, Alexandra laughing, your first commitments tangible again. You who had the honor of her evening, and by that honor had your own restored, say goodbye to Alexandra leaving with her lord. As someone long prepared for the occasion, in full command of every plan erect, do not choose a coward's explanation that hides behind the cause and the effect. You who were bewildered by a meaning, whose code was broken, crucifix uncrossed, say goodbye to Alexandra leaving, then say goodbye to Alexandra lost. And it says here that it was written in Hydra, Greece in September of 1999. Okay, the next one is called I Miss My Mother. I want to bring her to India and buy her gold and jewels. I want to hear her sigh for the poor in the street and marvel at the unforgiving grayness of the Arabian Sea. She was right about everything, including my foolish guitar and where it got me. She would make sense of the cotton flags, the sorrows of the port, the arches of the past. She'd pat my little head and bless my dirty song. And the next one is My Baby Wasn't There. My baby wasn't there when I went to test her love, but she'll be there today, I pray to God above. I'll sneak a look or two, and if I see her melt, I'll know that it was true, this feeling that I felt. My heart is like a thorn, hers is like a tree. My heart is dry and torn, hers a canopy. I've been up all night, and all I've got is this. I know that it's not right, but nothing really is. She's there at her machine. I'll tiptoe down the aisle, and if it's meant to be, she'll greet me with a smile. Then I'll be so happy, I'll live another day. I'll thank her for her charity, and then I'll limp away. This one is called The Cold. The cold seizes me and I shiver. The wine overthrows my tears. The night puts me to bed and the sorrows strengthen my resolve. Your name is burning under a statue. Even when I was with you, I wanted to be here. The rain unhooks my belt. The wind gives a shape to your absence. I move in and out of the one heart, no longer struggling to be free. And the next one is called A Magic Cure. I get up too late, the day is lost. I don't bless the rooster, I don't raise my hands to the water. Then it's dark, and I look into all the spots on Rue Saint-Denis. I even talk religion to the other wastrels, who like me are afternoon women. In bed I fall asleep in the middle of a psalm, which I am reading for a magic cure. That was written in Montreal, 1975. I also have no idea how to pronounce that word. I think it's wastrels, not wastrels. So, the next one is called If You Knew. If you knew how much we loved you, you'd cover up. You wouldn't fuck around with the passion that killed 300,000 people at Hiroshima, or scooped up rocks from the moon and crushed them into dust, looking for you, looking for your lost encouragement. That looks like the same drawing that we saw in the one that he wrote for Sandy. It is the same drawing. Okay, the next one is called Good Germans. You took me to your family. You warned me well before that your father is a fascist and your mother is a whore. I was kind of disappointed. I was bored to tell the truth. Your folks, they're just good Germans, but you're Hitler Youth. So I'm going to live in China, where you get a better deal, where your killer is a poet and your comrade is a girl. And that was written in 1973. I can't tell if he's sleeping or if he's hearing something outside. So sorry if you can hear that. This I wanted to read. It's different because it's part of the illustration. So it says, a private gaze. Even though he was built to see the world this way, he was also built to disregard, to be free of the way he was built to see the world. Okay, this is another one where it's part of the illustration. It says, this book will begin to speak when the hummingbird comes back to the red flower, to murder the red flower, speak a scent of death. Speak to the one who loves you, the one who has failed at love, the one you seek out with your blurred needle. This one is called My Redeemer. I think of you all the time, but I can't speak about you anymore. I must love you secretly. I must come to you when I am alone, as I am now. And even now I must be careful. I want all the women you created in your image. That is why I lower my eyes when I pass them in the street. You can hear my prayer, the one I have no words for, the name that I cannot utter. I'm twisted with love. I'm burning with boredom. I hate my disguise, the mask of longing, but what can I do without my disguise? I wouldn't be created. My Redeemer is a woman. Her picture is lost. We surrendered it 100 years ago. Give us the lady, they said. It is too dangerous now to have her likeness on a wall, so I gave her away, and the language with her. The happy language she invented for her name, and anyone who wants to talk about her has to become like me, humiliated and silent, twisted with love, a specialist in boredom and other childish matters. Yep. Okay, the next one is called Tired. We're tired of being white, and we're tired of being black, and we're not going to be white, and we're not going to be black any longer. We're going to be voices now, disembodied voices in the blue sky, pleasant harmonies in the cavities of your distress, and we're going to stay this way until you straighten up, until your suffering makes you calm and you can believe the word of God, who has told you so many times and in so many ways to love one another, or at least not to torture and murder in the name of some stupid, vomit-making human idea that makes God turn away from you and darken the cosmos with inconceivable sorrow. We're tired of being white, and we're tired of being black, and we're not going to be white, we're not going to be black any longer. Okay. This one is called The Third Invention. Blindly I worked at my third invention, taking the chances of one who is lost, feeling my way to a cleaner expression of the absolute filth I stumbled across, and all for the sake of an interested woman riding the night's last flicker of hope, some tourist of beauty in a full disappointment, ready to fall in love with a ghost. And here was the ghost with his third invention, the usual shit for the highest reward. And now it was ready, the third invention, ready to fall in love with the world. And he falls back and she comes forward. His third invention measures them both. She lies in the arms of his third invention, and back in his room he commences the fourth. This is the work of the highest pretension, an automatic ode to the world. Oh, deep in the comfort of full employment, he's lost to the fourth, and he's lost to the third. And that was written in 1980. This next one is called The Drunk is Gender Free. This morning I woke up again. I thank my Lord for that. The world is such a pig pen that I have to wear a hat. I love the Lord, I praise the Lord, I do the Lord forgive. I hope I won't be sorry for allowing him to live. I know you like to get me drunk and laugh at what I say. I'm very happy that you do. I'm thirsty every day. I'm angry with the angel who pinched me on the thigh and made me fall in love with every woman passing by. I know they are your sisters, your daughters, mothers' wives. If I have left a woman out, then I apologize. It's fun to run to heaven when you're off the beaten track. The Lord is such a monkey when you've got him on your back. The Lord is such a monkey, he's such a woman too. Such a place of nothing, such a face of you. May E crash into your temple and look out through your eyes and make you fall in love with everybody you despise. The next one is called Nevermind. The war was lost, the treaty signed. I was not caught, I crossed the line. I had to leave my life behind. I had a name, but never mind. Your victory was so complete that among you thought to keep a record of our little truth, the cloth we wove, the tools we used, the games of luck our soldiers played, the stones we cut, the songs we made, our law of peace which understands a husband leads, a wife commands, and all of this expressions of the sweet indifference some call love. The sweet indifference some call fate, but we had names more intimate. Names so deep and names so true, they're lost to me and dead to you. There is no need that this survive. There's truth that lives and truth that dies. There's truth that lives and truth that dies. I don't know which, so never mind. I could not kill the way you kill. I could not hate. I tried, I failed. No man can see the vast design or who will be last of his kind. The story's told with facts and lies. You own the world, so never mind. And that was it. So, yes, I really did enjoy reading this. I hope that you enjoyed listening to them. I don't read a lot of poetry to people. I like to read it out loud to myself, but I only hope that you actually found that relaxing. So, yeah, I hope you liked that. I have a few other books of poems, poetry books, that I do plan to do some readings sometime in the future. So hopefully you like that. And if you don't, I guess let me know so that I don't do that if you don't want that. gonna end that one there. So I hope that you're taking care of yourself. And if there is anything else that you would like to see, definitely let me know, because I am all. I don't think this here does it as well. All ears. All ears. Alright, sleep tight and sweet dreams.